the A-liner just struck me as a perfect traveling device, you know what I mean? Because low profile when towing, it's just convenient, small, packed.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet Eugene.
How you doing?
Good. Who is in this really great A-liner.
Yeah.
Now this is one of the newer models, and when we go inside you're going to be stunned by just how much room there is. And these now have kind of these dormers.
Right, that's what they call them.
So are you full-timing?
I started here on September the 7th. Last year I did a 7-month tour, and I took the winter and summer off and started September the 7th. And my goal here is to travel the country. RTR was one of my stops, and I'm focusing on national parks for the most part, and family and friends and shipmates. And next year I want to do, I'm going home for about a month in September, August and September, to touch base with doctors and things. And then next year I plan to do a coastal tour from October till in Maine, starting at the coast in Maine and working my way down to Brownsville, Texas, and then circle back up into the Southwest. When I become medically unable to lift the roof by myself, I may have to stop, or I may sell this and switch to a van.
Right. So for the moment, you're keeping a home base.
Yes.
And probably mainly for the purpose of having doctors and those things.
I do my medical with the VA for the most part. And I have been able to video conference with him for my appointments and stop at certain VA centers to have blood drawn and things like that. So that has worked out. Medications are a little bit of an issue sometimes because most of my pills I get at Walmart, and my insulins, I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic, I have sent to my brother in Missoula, and then I'm going to have to general delivery those. He currently brought me my last set. He's camped out in Brenda, just east of Quartzsite there. The next time I need him back in about in April or so, I'll have to general delivery him someplace, wherever I am.
Now, I don't know, have you checked with Algodones to see if you can get it there? I think you can.
I probably could, you know what I mean? But the pills and things, I'm sure I can, but at Walmart, most of the VA does a lot of generic type drugs, so nothing's real proprietary, so they're relatively cheap anyway.
Right.
And even insulin from my copay with them is only like $9 for a month's supply, so it's not very expensive, you know what I mean?
Right. So far, you're just kind of starting out, but being insulin dependent hasn't kept you from being on the road.
Oh, no. And I am actually a little bit healthier traveling because I'm not grabbing snacks and things out of the stuff at home, you know what I mean? And I'm going for walks in places like this, you know?
Right. I think that nearly everyone I know says they are healthier.
Right.
They're more active, they're out in the sun more.
Right.
It's a little healthier lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
And so for the moment, you're just taking these long, really quite long trips.
Oh, yes. And actually, I got to Arizona on December the 21st, right before Christmas. And this is probably the longest time I've been in any one state since I started in September. I've covered like this is California right here where we are now is the 19th state I've hit. 18 on this trip. I have put on, when you asked at the RTR who was farthest away, I had no clue. I had to get my phone out and see that I was 2,300 miles away from where I'm from in Pennsylvania.
So, and tell us how you ended up in the A-liner and how you like it so far.
Well, when I was touring last year the country, I was up in Olympic National Park, and there was a volunteer who was in a much smaller version of this. He was in either a Scout or a Scout Light, and that is like 10 feet long. And the roof opens up, there's no dormers on it, and he lived in Tacoma somewhere, but he was volunteering in Washington. He was at the Paradise Place visitor center, and the A-liner just struck me as a perfect traveling device, you know what I mean? Because low profile when towing, it's just convenient, small, packed. I don't like to set out a whole lot of things when I'm set up. I just keep everything inside, and then I saw another one when I was in Yellowstone at Fishing Bridge, and the guy let me look inside, and it was a little bit bigger model. It was either the 12 or the 15-foot classic model, And I was just impressed. I was taken away. So then I spent the next about approximately a year shopping. The parent company of this is called Columbia Northwest, and they make another half trailer that's like that Geo Tour thing that's up there, or whatever that was the other day up in the women's camp. It's a nice, it looks like a regular trailer with a round front that they cut in half. It's only like 12 feet long.
Right, those are nice trailers.
It's very simple, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the beauty of this. It's not great big like a fifth wheel or a Class A or something, you know what I mean?
And also, so yours, how long is yours?
The box is supposed to be 15, and I believe 7.5 wide, counting the air conditioner sticking out 6, 8, 10 inches, whatever this is. And then the tongue adds 3 more feet to it.
Right.
And it has trailer brakes. Its dry weight at the factory was like 2,100 pounds. That's without the tires, the spare, the tanks, or the battery, somebody told me. So it's fairly light to pull. With my F-150, I've only noticed maybe 2 miles per gallon fuel loss towing at places.
And so what kind of gas mileage are you getting with towing?
For the last 4 months, I've been averaging about 14 and a quarter to 14 and a half.
That's really good, towing
For
a
this,
trailer.
yeah. Even when my truck was brand new with nothing on it, it got like 17.
Which is still really good. I mean, you're taking your home with you.
Exactly.
It's a lot better than your house at home gets.
Yeah.
So, and yet it's superb inside. I mean, it's just
Yes.
really nice.
Yes, I like it. It has a lot of things. I've done some modifications and so on and so forth. You know, I mean, we all do that.
One of the problems, though, as you've mentioned with the A-liners, is you don't find a lot of used ones. Used, they're kind of hard to find.
I did, when I was shopping, I couldn't find any. But after I got one, I found places on Facebook particularly that there's a place called A-Frame Marketplace that people will advertise on, and it's Rockball chalets, or Rockwood chalets, A-liners, and there's some there pretty much all the time. It's just, are they in your part of the country?
Right. And if you got to drive across country to get it, that may be what you do. I had a friend who wanted a specific van, and he watched the entire country Craigslist, and as soon as he found it, he called them, had him take it down, have a mechanic check it out, and flew in the next day and bought it.
Right, right.
Yes, that's what you got to do if it's. And so, what are the costs of a used A-liner and a new A-liner if you can't find one?
Well, again, this was about 20,000 and change when I bought it brand new from the dealer. I probably didn't haggle enough. Maybe I should have haggled more and let them on, but it was a 2.5 hour drive for me just to get to the dealership. So the smallest model, which is the Scout Light, I believe brand new, goes for approximately 11 grand. It's about half the price, but it's half the size and not as many amenities, you know what I mean?
Those are pretty small trailers.
Oh yes, they are. And I'm not exactly sure. The Scout Light, I believe, was only an 8-foot box. When the lids closed, they closed all the way over top of each other instead of overlapping partway. This closes partway.
And so used, I mean, it's just really depending.
Oh, yeah, depending upon the deal. I saw one advertised on the marketplace the other day for $5 grand for, I believe, a 12-foot model. You know what I mean?
So you may be starting at $5 grand for a good used one, and then up to 11 brand new for very smallest.
Right, yeah.
But yours, really nice, 20 grand.
Yeah, I love it. I figure it's going to be my home for the next 20 years, or I'm sorry, the rest of my life till I go in a nursing home. And once I get in the nursing home, the nurses are going to know all about the United States.
They are. See a lot of pictures of it too.
That's my goal.
So I see that the easiest way was to put your solar on the outside.
Well, what happened when I bought the 2 panels, I planned on hanging them on one of the dormers so that when I lifted the roof, then I could lift the dormer. During the daytime, I could put a dormer down and let it shine directly at the sun at the angle, and at night put it up. It wouldn't matter, you know. But when I got the panels, I put the feet on them and laid them across the dormer where I wanted to go, and I had trouble lifting the roof. It was just too much for me I have back and neck problems, and it was too much at the time. Now I've developed a new technique at somebody else's suggestion that I might be able to, but what I also need to do before then is there are struts in the four corners that I can get stronger ones for and install, and then, because the two panels with the feet on weigh about 35 pounds. So you're adding 35 pounds to something that you have to get inside, and when I lift this to start with, I have to lift from approximately this position where I can stand here and lift it part way, and then so it kind of got pretty heavy, you know what I mean? So
right.
I just decided to get the panels, and I eventually made a frame. I only made that frame about 3 days before I left. I do need to do some modifications on it. I can't quite stand it high enough to get this low sun.
Right. The winter is always hard.
And all I have to do is lower the top pivot point, and it more than supplies what I need. The talking about the solar, the only thing I really run when I'm out here boondocking is I have a CPAP machine that I plug into. I bought a 12-volt adapter for, and I highly suggest that. And my three-way fridge runs on 12 volt, and that's the only thing I'm basically using. I've been very, very stingy using lights and things, even the LED lights, and I'm only using about 12 to 15% of my 200 amp hours of AGM batteries per night.
Now, one of the things we should mention is that one of the best things about the A-liner is the hard-sided.
Right.
So you can buy pop-ups that are soft-sided, which is fabric.
Right.
Why did you get the hard side as opposed to the soft side?
Because I did camp in Yellowstone last year, and another place where there was a bear issue, and you could not camp any place with a soft-sided. You know, you couldn't go into these campgrounds because, and that would limit your availability to camp in a certain spot. That's what really attracted me at the one I saw at Olympic the first time. It was hard-sided everywhere, you know. And they do make these dormers with canvas sides in them. They are available that way, but the canvas sides, the pro for them is they let in a lot of light because there's not much canvas in between the plastic windows. But they also let in a lot of cold.
Right.
You know, it's not as well insulated that way.
Yeah, they flap in the wind.
Right.
And
yeah. And if you did want to camp somewhere and you had the soft dormers, you could just close those and not open those when you're in the Bear Country campground, and just limit yourself for your inside room. All in all, I like this. You know, it's really nice, the hard sides.
Well, I think I just would always feel more comfortable with hard sides myself.
Right,
I mean, you just kind of want a hard side around you.
Oh yeah, yep. I can just opening this up from the time that I park and get it level and set up. It only takes me about 2 minutes, and I can be inside of it. Mm-hmm. And it's basically done. And then I have to come out and unlatch the dormers and do that, because you have to leave the dormers latched when you open it up. They provide the stability from the hinge point across the top.
Do you have any social media you want to tell people about? YouTube,
well,
Facebook?
I keep track of my family, and my family keeps track of me through Facebook. I'm there on my name, which is Eugene Frank Brindle. I do have a YouTube page, but I started that for personal videos. I plan after I'm done traveling, that's going to be my time. I can't afford to do like you and sit for probably 4 or 5 or 6 hours a night in the vehicle and edit to put stuff on YouTube. That's not my goal, you know what I mean? Right. I do want to do the YouTube page, which is on YouTube, but just leave out my middle name, it's Eugene Brindle. I do want to have that available for my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, that they can see what I did, how I did. When I visit national parks, I also I have 3 children, and my plan is to make a shadow box for each child's family, and I'm going to put pins, such as these type of things, in the shadow box. And my challenge to my grandchildren will be, go to as many places as Grandpa, Papa, and Pappy did in your lifetime, not in the 5 years that I did it, or whatever.
Right. So do you mind if we go ahead and take a look inside?
No, that'd be great.
Let's do that.
Okay.